So next is, how much does a virtual assistant cost? So I have a free tool for you guys. If you go to outsourceschool.com/VA calculator, it's a tool where you can actually plug in the numbers in your business, and it'll show you how many virtual assistants you can afford. Can you afford 3 full-time VAs or 2 part-time VAs or whatever it is? The average virtual assistant is between $5 to $8 an hour. That should be your mentality. To be honest, I can hire rock stars at $5 an hour. I like to factor in that extra few bucks an hour just because maybe one week they work 45 hours instead of 40. Maybe I give them a bonus. Maybe I give them a raise. And we have processes for all of that. And so I like to over budget. I'd rather over budget than under budget. So when you're doing these numbers and you're using the VA calculator, even if you can hire a VA for 5, maybe factor in that at the end of the year, it might average out to 6 or 7. Now, can you find a great VA out there for $2 an hour or $3 an hour? Of course. It all comes down to, are you your VA's favorite client? If your VA loves working for you, and we'll give you some tips on that in a little bit, you have the opportunity to potentially pay less. Does that mean you should pay less? Maybe not. For me, I would rather pay that extra dollar or so to make sure they stick around. I don't want them to consider other job offers. If I'm paying someone 3 and someone else comes in and offers them 5, I don't want them to consider that. I want to pay them an amount of money that they're happy with, and also treat them really well where I'm their favorite client, so they don't want to go somewhere even if they're making an extra $1 an hour, which is much easier to do if you're in that 5 to 8 range than it is to do if they're starting off in that 2 to 3 range. So the VA calculator, you're going to put in how much profit you made a month, how aggressive you want to be. To put something in perspective, I usually reinvest about 25% of gross profit into hiring each month. That's what's worked for me. Earlier, when I was more aggressive as a young entrepreneur, I was closer to 35%. If you're newer, and we're all kind of in a different place in our life and our business, you might have personal bills, you might need to take more money out of the business, start at 10 to 15%. There's nothing wrong with that, but make sure you know what percentage you are comfortable reinvesting into your business month in and month out, because that's going to matter for how many people you can hire. And again, you don't want to go back and forth. I did not mean to click on that. Let's see. Any questions here before I keep going? If there's any questions in the Zoom chat, I cannot see it, so I will get to those at the end.
I think everybody's good so far. Yeah.
Cool. So if you want to do some quick math, a $5 an hour virtual assistant for 5 hours a week, which again, you can definitely get started with. Action is better than no action. So if you start with 5 hours a week, that's better than doing nothing at all. $25 a week, $1,300 a year, pretty affordable. And if you think about that, you're getting about 6.5 weeks of your time back a year for about $1,300 just for hiring a 5-hour-a-week virtual assistant. To me, that's a no-brainer for most businesses out there that can afford $1,300 a year to get 6.5 weeks back of the entrepreneur's time. And then it just becomes, what are you doing with that extra 6.5 weeks? Are you going to form more partnerships, get more clients, focus on learning a new skill that helps your business, whatever it is, but figure out what are the easiest tasks that I can take off my plate and relocate my time to higher, more expansive level tasks.